this is part of my virtual millionaire plan. I've got, I don't know, let me see, 20, 105. It's great. So I have about 2,500 a week is 2,000 a month. 2,000 a month times 50. I have like 50 something people paying me $2,000 a month. That's not 5,000 a month. That's not 10,000. That's 100,000. I have 3 clients who pay me 20,000 a month. That's another 60,000. Why am I telling you that? Not to impress you, but to impress upon you. If there are people out there who are willing to pay me 20,000 a month and $510 a week, which turns into $2,040 a month, there are people out there who will pay you $100 a month. That's my point. Okay? This is the first step in my mind on the path of becoming a millionaire. Become a virtual millionaire. See, nobody ever told me about virtual millionaire. I just figured it out. I was sitting there thinking one day, well, if I had $1 million and I invested, I wouldn't want to spend it, I'd invest it. What would that give me? If I had 6%, well, if I had 6%, it would give me $60,000 a year. That's $5,000 a month. So anytime I got $5,000 a month coming in, that's the equivalent to me having $1 million. Sign me up for that program. Okay, cool. We're all on the same page. Now, okay, I'm gonna go sit down now because I got myself all worked up, or either I did or y'all did. So because, and you say, Myron, why are you sharing this with us? I'm sharing it with you because, okay, can I share a very self-interested but not selfish motive that I have? If I help you make more money here on YouTube with my community service content, I know that some of you, not all of you, because some of you ain't that interested, but some of you will spend some of that money buying stuff from me. So I can help you make money without charging you money at first. Then some of that money that you make, that I helped you make, you're gonna come spend it with me. I'm not, it's not rocket science. It's just like you cannot outsow the farm. Okay, you're tracked. So, that was number 3 out of 7. Okay, number 4. You have to work hard to become a millionaire. I submit to you that you work harder than most people. Now, I work hard when I'm working, and I work hard on what I'm working. I just don't let it last too long. Right? Like, some days it lasts all day. But we don't like to have more than 4 or 5 days a month where it lasts all day. The hard work lasts all day. Right? Usually it lasts for a couple of hours, a couple of days a week. But I'm 60-something. I'm not retired, but I don't need to retire because I've built my life in a way where I've got seasons. I've got seasons of focus and seasons of balance every week and every day and every month and every year. So I don't need to retire. Retire for what? I'm already doing everything. There's not some day in the future that I hope I get to, and I hope I have enough money when I get there so I can start enjoying my life. I started enjoying my life a long time ago. Okay, so you have to work too hard. I'm going to tell you something. It does not require any harder work than you're currently doing to become a millionaire. It just requires a different kind of work to provide a different kind of value for a different kind of person. And it requires a different perspective on your part. It doesn't require harder work. I know what hard work feels like. I worked on a farm for a whole day, and I lived through it. And I promise God that day, Lord, if you deliver me from this day, I promise you, I will not tempt you by coming back here tomorrow. You think I'm joking too? I was betting, look, let me live through this. It was July in Lowell, Indiana, pulling sorghum. I had nightmares about sorghum for I don't even know. So sorghum is looks like corn, but there's no corn. It's what they use to make molasses. And for $8 an hour, and I mean, I was sore everywhere. Oh no, so we ain't do this. I helped my next door neighbor who had a roofing company put a rubber roof on one of the buildings that in Steelton, Pennsylvania, one of those old steel mill buildings. The last 2 days of that project, it was a whole week project. All of it was fun until we got to the last 2 days. Like the day before the last day, 2 dump trucks came and dumped gravel out of the ground. Hey Steve, what are we doing with that gravel? Oh, we're putting it up on the roof. How we get it up there? Those buckets, that ladder, and y'all. Okay, and so we were shoveling rocks into a bucket, carrying the rocks up a ladder, walking the rocks across to the other side of the building, dumping them out, spreading them out, and go get another bucket. For for 2 days. You know why I don't think anything I do now is hard? Because I've done hard stuff. And this ain't that. Oh, but Myron, it's so hard to talk to people. You know what? You haven't done anything hard. But Myron, it's so hard to learn how to do it. You haven't done anything. But I don't know how to use a computer. You think learning how to do this is hard? I'm not the one that's confused, right? Okay. They think that you must have a college degree from a grade from like an Ivy League school. You don't have to have a college degree from an Ivy League school in order to come in. In fact, you don't need a college degree. In fact, you didn't even need to get good grades in high school. I love what Robert Kiyosaki said. He said that A students work for C students and B students work for the government. You don't need a college degree. What you need is you need a way, an idea you've come up with or tapped into that gives you the ability to create value for a large pool of people with a big problem and deep enough pockets to pay to solve that problem. That's all you need. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over, but eventually you're going to hear me. Okay. And then they think, this is another myth. You gotta be lucky. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but did you know that first woman millionaire in the United States and the first black millionaire was Madison J. Walker? She wasn't black. She figured out a solution for a large pool of people. They didn't even have deep pockets. They had a big problem. She solved their problem. Oh, and it was in the beauty industry. You need an idea, a way to serve people that gives you a unique story that a lot of people can relate to, that'll resonate with a lot of people, that they can remember, and then they can recite to other people. And that's how your ideas, and that's how your business goes viral. And then the last one. I used to talk, now I just read them. The last one is, you believe you are either too old or you believe you're too young. Really. Colonel Sanders was 60-something years old. And the way I heard the story was that he had a chicken recipe. And he decided, he got his first Social Security check. He said, this ain't going to be my life. And he started going to restaurants, offering them his chicken recipe in exchange for a royalty on all the chicken receipts. He went to 1,000 restaurants before one said yes. 1,000 first restaurant said yes. And now, KFC, a business an old man started. There was no internet. There was no artificial intelligence. There was no email, text message, cell phones, connectivity. You know what? We have it so easy, everything feels fine. I've seen children who built YouTube channels that get millions and millions of views. And they make millions and millions of dollars from those millions and millions of views. But you think you're too young. I remember in 2015, I joined this mastermind. And I had already been rich, but I wasn't rich when I joined this mastermind. I was broke as a joke, ready to joke. And I remember being in this room where these young people in their 20s were making $200,000, $400,000. And my best month ever at that point was $400,000. And they're like making $200,000 and $400,000 a month on the regular, like it's nothing to do. I'm thinking to myself, I've got shoes older than you, bro. T-shirts. But guess what? In their 20s, they were making more. So this whole idea that you're too young or you're too old or it's too hard, don't buy into any of these myths. Decide. Hopefully, I would say all transformation begins with awareness. Hopefully, I've made you aware, one, of some myths you've been believing that have been holding you back. Hopefully that's one thing I made you aware of today. Hopefully, I made you aware focusing on becoming a virtual millionaire and getting to $5,000 a month passive cash flow, which is the same, which gives you the same result as having $1 million invested in 6%. And see, the beautiful thing about becoming a virtual millionaire and having $5,000 a month in passive cash flow coming in, the beautiful thing about that is it frees up your time. You can take a part of that time and use it for thinking. And thinking is the hardest work most people do. So hopefully I gave you some different ways to think about it. Hopefully we just debunked and demystified this whole idea of becoming a millionaire and removed all of the internal resistance that you have based on your misaligned perceptions or the myths you believe about what it takes to become a millionaire. And by the way, for those of you who are tired of hearing me talk about how to become a millionaire, probably would be a good idea for you to watch some transition, because I'm going to keep talking about it until y'all start doing it and start getting paid. In the meantime, in between time, hope this video blesses you. Stay blessed by the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
When you own a small business, every second counts. 120 seconds to add the finishing touches. 900 seconds to arrange the displays. If you're short on time for marketing, Constant Contact's powerful tools can help. You can automate email and SMS messages, so customers get the right message at the right time. Save time, market.
On this video today, I'm going to show you how to make $10,000 an hour. Like, if you can imagine $10,000 an hour. I remember when I first got started as an entrepreneur. By the way, $10,000 in an hour, even if you don't know where to start. And it could be 10,000 an hour, it could be more than that. And I know that sounds like hype, so that's why I'm not saying it really loud and really excitedly, because I don't like hype any more than you do. But I remember when I first got started as an entrepreneur in October of 1985, that was the first time I ever ran into somebody who was making $10,000 a month. And to me, $10,000 a month at that time seemed like, it just seemed so insane, because I wasn't even making $10,000 a year in 1985. So for somebody to be making $10,000 a month, I'm like, okay, my dad already taught me that if somebody else can do it, you can do it, because it can be done. They've already proven it can be done. So I don't have to go prove it can be done. That's exciting, right? You don't have to prove it can be done. $10,000 an hour is something that I know that's possible because I've done it myself more times than I have the ability to count, and considerably more than that. And I've also taught other people who've done it more times than I have the ability to count. And so now I'm going to teach everybody out there in the YouTube sphere, like, how do you make $10,000 in an hour? Because I know that sounds kind of insanical. And for those of you who don't know what insanical is, it's like the offspring of insane and maniacal together, right? So the first thing we have to do is you have to discern the level of value. So you have to discern the level of value that you're going to work with. So what does that mean? This is one of the biggest things that keeps people stuck, because we've been lied to our whole life. We've been told that the key to success is working hard, and if you want to be more successful, you have to work harder. I do believe that working hard is a good idea, but I believe it's only a good idea to work hard on things that are smart work also. Like, work hard at smart things. Don't work hard at stupid things. Heard somebody say one time, people who play stupid games win stupid prizes. People who work hard on stupid things get stupid paychecks, right? Let's work hard on stuff that makes sense, right? And so what do I mean discern the level of value? Value is the thing that people pay for. So in order for me to make $10,000 worth of in an hour, I have to be able to deliver more than $10,000 worth of value in that hour. Well, in order for me to do that, I have to understand first and foremost the 4 levels of value. So these are the 4 levels of value that I discovered in Genesis chapter 1 many, many moons ago. Okay, so the lowest level of value is implementation. And so implementation, on the implementation level, we use our, that's good. I think that's red. We use our muscles. Over time. So if you think about muscles are physical. Time is a limited resource. So what you're doing when you're using your muscles over time is you are taking a physical resource times a unlimited result. It's not possible. Okay, are you okay? And so what you have to do is you have to say, okay, so why does this not work? The implementation level is the level where people make the least amount of money. If you want to make more money, you have to level up. You say, I'm working hard. Yeah, but you're working hard on the wrong level, right? It's not like how hard you work on your current level is not the question. The question is, how hard are you willing to work on yourself to get to the next level? Because on the lowest level of value, you're going to make somewhere between minimum wage and maybe $80,000 per year. Minimum wage if you're making tacos at 7-layer burritos at Taco Bell, $80,000 a year. Maybe if you're a mechanic working on a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or Mercedes or whatever, you're a high skilled laborer that works on premium products. So now you're making $80,000 a year, but you're still using your muscles over time. Now, some of us are going to think, well, that's not fair. Okay, when you work on making life fair, I'm just going to work within the boundaries that life has already handed us. Okay, and I just recently had an event at a hotel in Clearwater, Florida, and so when we were at that event, one of the things that I noticed every time I go to a hotel is the hardest working people in the hotel are the housekeeping staff. But they're also the people who make the least amount of money. And we can act, oh, that's not fair. We need to figure out a way to make that better. And politicians are always going to lie and tell you they're going to solve income inequality, but they can't solve income inequality because income inequality doesn't exist in a vacuum. Income inequality, there are some shenanigans to go on. I'm not saying there are no shenanigans to go on in the upper echelons of society. I'm not saying that, but income inequality is largely the result of value creation inequality. So if you want to make more money, create more value. And oh, by the way, you don't need somebody to fix it for you. In fact, the reason you have the problem is because that's not just something you're supposed to go through, that's something you're supposed to grow through. And if you're willing to grow through the problems that you have, it can turn you into a person who no longer has that problem. Okay, there are no external forces that are stopping you. The forces that are stopping you are all inside you. That's another conversation for a different day. 80,000 a year. So, what's the next level? Well, the next level is what I call unification. And on the unification level, we use our management skills to make money. Now, the reason we make more money, and by the way, people who use their management skills make a lot more money than people who do the thing themselves. In fact, these people who manage these people make more money than the people they manage. That's not fair. Okay, don't fix that right now. Fix it later. Right now, let's figure out how we can level up. So on this level, you're going to make using your management skills, and the reason you make so much more money is because here you get paid for your hours. Here you get paid for something called man hours. And the more people you have working for you, the more money you make. You got 100 people under you. What did J. Paul Getty say? J. Paul Getty say, I would rather make 1% of the efforts of 100 people than the 100% of my own efforts. Okay, so like start thinking about leverage. When you have management skills, you're actually leveraging the work of other people. Okay, so on this level, management skills, you're going to make somewhere on the low end, you might make $60,000 a year. If you are a manager at Taco Bell, and you might make $250,000. You might make $250,000 if you're a manager at a Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 company like Lockheed Martin. You might work at Boeing or somewhere where a middle manager, you're going to make $250,000 a year. But if you make $250,000 a year at your job because of your management skills, the company that you work for, they want you to know they own you. That's not the same as them wanting you to know they own you. They want you to know they own you, right? And they're going to do everything in their power to show you that they know that they own you, okay? Well, what we got to do is we have to level up one more time, and when we level up, two more times actually. When we get up above this dotted line, this is where the fortunes start to be made. And so, like, if you're down here using your muscles over time, like, you have a couple of levels to ascend before you can even start thinking about making $10,000 a month. And you're gonna see, this is an hour, not a month. And you're gonna see how this makes sense here in a minute. So what happens next is this level doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, but it is. This is communication. Communication is, and by the way, the resource you use here is called your mouth. Okay? When you on the communication level, you're going to make on the low end 100 grand a year if you sell cars, or if you sell insurance, or you sell real estate on the low end. You make 100,000 a year. But on the high end, it could be $100 million a year. What do you mean $100 million a year? Well, if you're a screenwriter and you write scripts for movies, you might make $100 million a year. If you're a songwriter and you write songs, you might make, if you're a Beyonce or if you're a Taylor Swift, you might make $100 million, $200 million, $300 million a year. You're a Jay-Z. You might make hundreds of millions of dollars because you create a message with your mouth that moves the masses. You know how to have conversations that create cash flow. And so you're, now maybe you can't sing like Beyonce. Maybe you can't act like Denzel Washington. Maybe you can't direct movies like, I was gonna say Martin Scorsese, but I don't even know if Martin Scorsese, I think he's the director. Anyway, Martin Scorsese, right? You may not be able to do any of that stuff, but guess what? Here's an arena you can step into today, using your mouth to make money. It's called sales. I don't like sales. Okay, cool. Most people don't. In fact, I would venture to guess that probably 95% of people don't like to sell. I want you to think about it. Somebody tell me, what is the alternative to selling? Buying or being sold. Okay, so think about that. 95% of the people don't like to sell, which means 95% of the people only like to buy. That makes it really, really good for the 5% of us who love to sell. By the way, come on over, jump on in, the water's fine. By the way, for those of you who don't like sales, I submit to you that perhaps you don't like sales because you had a bad experience with somebody who was, quote, in sales, but was terrible at sales. And here's what I mean when I say they were terrible at sales. They attempted to talk you into buying something you didn't want, didn't need, or couldn't afford, and then proceeded to attempt to pressure you to say yes when your answer was already no. That's not what I mean when I say sales. When I say sales, I mean helping people make a decision they already desire to make for their own reasons, not talking them into making a decision you desire them to make for your reasons. Like, one of the reasons I'm so good at sales is because I'm not trying to get anybody to buy. I just recognize there are a lot of smart people out there in the world who would desire to have the results I can help them get, and they'd be willing to pay me for that. And so therefore, fortunately for me, I figured it out. I don't have to talk people into buying. Why? Because there are enough people out there who are already looking to buy what I'm already looking to sell. That's a game changer. Okay. So, communication, you can start out in sales. You can become an author and sell books. I wrote a couple of books. In fact, I'm going to grab them just because I'm talking about it right now. I didn't think about it earlier. Okay, so back in frame. Okay. I wrote this book 19 years ago. This book makes me about $110,000 a year. I wrote it 19 years ago. It's called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. If you buy it on Amazon, you might end up paying $1,100 for it. So I would recommend against that, certainly over $100, because people buy them on my website and then they sell them on Amazon. People buy them, and I know they do because I was speaking at a conference. Y'all know who Alex and Layla Hormozy are, right? So I was speaking at their conference, at their Gym Lords conference one time, and I was telling them I just found out people are selling my book on Amazon for like $300, $160, and $60. And Layla says, I know, I just bought your book the other day for $60 off Amazon. I'm like, what? I would have given it to you, right? Anyway, she said, yeah, I bought it for my dad. And so this book, don't buy it on Amazon. If you want to buy it, buy it on TrashManToCashMan.com. Not that I'm trying to get you to buy one. Don't buy one. If you think I'm trying to sell you a book, don't buy one. How about that? This book I wrote 4 years ago. We sell $30,000 to $40,000 a month for this book. These two books together make us $500,000 a year for work I did a long time ago, right? So what do you say? This is a message that I communicated. That's what I'm talking about. I took my time. I put this message in a book. You know, you sit there and you type, or you write, and then you have somebody, right? I wrote this. That represents work that I did many moons ago. I'm still getting paid off of it every single solitary day. Okay, so communication. Well, what's the highest level of value? The highest level of value is imagination. And on this level, you use your mind and you use your money to make money. Now, here's what happens. You want to make $10,000 an hour? Here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to discern the level of value you're working on, and then you got a decision to make. Am I going to stay on the level I'm on? If you're down here, it's going to be very, very hard for you to make $10,000 an hour using your money, using your muscles over time. So maybe there's a better way. It's going to be very, very hard for you to make $10,000 an hour managing people. So what you have to do is you have to figure out how to create and convey a message that shows other people that you have value, and you have to figure out who those people are. So I'm going to use my mind. I'm going to use my mind to figure out, okay, who are the people that I'm going to serve, right? So I use my imagination. So I gave you a part of the outline. So discern, right? So then I'm going to use my imagination. If I'm going to create wealth, I'm going to discern what level of value I'm on, and I'm going to use my imagination to contemplate